Okay, a warm welcome to the Rockhound Podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are so happy to see you, but we are also extremely happy to welcome a new guest onto the podcast. He's here, and so I'm going to toss it right on over to you. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I am Derek Demeter, also known as Derek the Rockmaster on several YouTube channels, kind of the guest star, but I'll talk a little more what I do later on. But I'm from the Florida area of the United States, usually underwater. That's kind of what I'm known for doing. Yeah.
Welcome. It's so good to have you here. And you? Yes.
I'm Theo the Squire, here with Derek the Rockmaster.
That's right.
Who is also now underwater.
I'll just do this every time I need to speak.
I thought you said the microphone was really good on this laptop, Theo.
We'll blame it on the room.
Yeah.
All right, and you know what? I bet you it's that is over towards Derek. That you might have to lean in towards Derek. That's it. Yes.
Just swoop in. Yeah. When you need to swoop, just swoop it. Just swoop it.
All right. Well, welcome, Theo the Squire. And Kurt.
My name's Kurt with Rock.Hounding.Adventures out here in Western Colorado. Like the western side of Colorado.
And Costa Rica sometimes, almost.
I guess, sure.
All right, also underwater. And so again, thank you for joining us. Let us know where you're joining us from, and you can put that into the comments. I give everybody a shout out the next week, and so it's always fun to hear about where everybody is coming from. And I am Karen from Ozone Fine Art Ventures out here on the rainy, blustery, but also sunny and warm Oregon coast. It just doesn't know.
Western coast.
The Western Oregon coast. That's where I am. All right. And so while I'm talking, I might as well be shouting. Just really quick. Last week we did a catch up of the summer chaos, and it was quite a blast with mustard and relish for sure. Dustin Finds Rocks was celebrating National Rock Collecting Day. Did you know that was a thing? Yes, we have nods.
Maybe.
I got blindsided.
And the only reason I knew it is because Alexis went to Denver like 3 weeks ago and got me a calendar from a rock shop, and that date just happened to be on the calendar.
All right,
nice.
Go ahead. Oh, that was a nice.
Wait, what?
Saying something. Yeah.
Oh no, I was saying nice.
Reaction. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I guess that was like the 16th or something like that. So we'll have to mark our calendars next year. And so he also verified that the Halloween shindig, see what I did there, dig, is October 14th to the 16th at Haunted Ridge for that Halloween thing. So it's coming right up. Mark your calendars for that one too. Book your tickets. He says that new areas are going to be exposed. So yeah, should be awesome. Lisa Largent, 45, loves turtles, the show, but also ran out of wine. Somebody out there, please pass her another bottle. She was excited about everything, including Theo's new channel. Theo, your new channel is red. And go check that out, people. Julia McKenna was happy to see us back and said Kurt's raps are beautiful. Yes, my lady, they are. And Claude from Kalgoorlie also loved the raps. So intricate, he said. So Kurt,
thanks.
You're getting the love. Oh, and then back to Theo. The Gates of Dawn said, you're so creative and talented. Love your lamp. And that's new on that channel, folks. So
thank you.
Go check it out.
It's also made a waterfall.
And Patrick Donahue cleared up the corundum conundrum chemically. I had to do that corundum conundrum thing. Yeah. Chemically, ruby, corundum, and sapphire are the same mineral form of Al2O3 with the synthetic stuff called ruby for SEO purposes. He thinks people know the word ruby, but they don't necessarily know corundum. I'm gonna do
Conundrum.
it.
That's
I'm gonna
it.
do it.
Yeah.
And, the majority only think of sapphire as blue. So thank you, Patrick. He was popping in on that. Ivan Lopez, Michael Robertson, anybody else I forgot, and all y'all in the chat and over on the Discord. Thanks for hanging out with us, doing what you do, giving us all the love. We love you back, and them's the shouts. So we would love to hear briefly about Theo and Derek's week. What can you tell us?
I'm
Theo.
sorry. I'll just say that considering that's what the bulk of this podcast is going to be about, we'll just wait because there is no brief. This week has been exhausting.
We're going to do an exhaustive study later.
There is no short version. We can shorten it, but it's still no quick.
No.
Okay, we'll save yours for last then. Kurt, how was yours?
My week was good. Y'all saw last week I docked some slabs that I cut up the previous week, and this week I am working on cabbing them, and you guys will see those see a couple of the Missouri lace cabs that I'm currently working on in show and tell later. But other than that, I have been up. I haven't really done a whole lot. We went out to Pikes Peak and did a little bit of hiking as we were coming back to the side of the state, and didn't find any Amazonite or smoky quartz. But plan to maybe try and get back out there to do that in next spring or so. But yeah, other than that, it's been cold and wet, and today was actually really nice outside.
Woohoo! Awesome. Sounds like a killer week, and beautiful. I mean, you never come out of a place like that without something. You got, like an eyeful and beautiful things to.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. Well, thank you. And my week was a blur again. I just can say that, like, you guys should already just know. I shouldn't even say it anymore. And
Blur the screen.
I in theory, you can go and search for the video I just dropped, and hopefully, and then I've been working on stuff like the thing I'm showing for show and tell, which I found during the thing that I just dropped, apparently, and so you can stay tuned for that. So both Kurt and I are showing up what we did over the past week for show and tell, and that's pretty much my deal without going long. So look, we're gonna spin it back to Derek and Theo, and I'm gonna start with a question for Derek though. We always love to kind of get an idea of, what your a little bit about yourself and how you got into this rock craziness, and the crazies that go with it, like Theo.
So yeah, I've been rock collecting since I was a kid. My passion, my dad was a huge collector of things. So for me, I was just fascinated about the universe, and of course, the Earth is part of that grand universe, and just learning how the Earth formed and how it, processes of the Earth, and got me really into geology. And of course, that led to other things down the road with my work in astronomy and education. But I got into just loving rock since I was a kid. I used to, everywhere we would travel, I would usually take a rock and, as kind of a way to remember that experience or that location that I've been. And it kind of has, evolved to that today. And of course, now I've been all over the world collecting different rock and fossil specimens. And Theo, you've been to my house before. You've seen some of the crazy things I have.
He literally has rocks from around the world. It's amazing.
So
we might have to do a tour of that at some point if you're willing.
But one of the things I really enjoy the most about rock collecting is I'm more of the science geek side of the rock collecting thing as a hobby. I like to learn about the different areas that I visit and the science behind it, the formations and all that. So Theo knows I'm kind of a specimen kind of guy. So I enjoy being able to, every time I look at those different things, it brings me back to those times and places I've been and all that. So that's kind of, what I got into it and what I do it, why I do it to this day.
Awesome. For the love of dirt.
For the love of dirt. That's right.
Nice. Great. Good answer. And so you had touched upon geology and education and the astronomy, excuse me.
Oh yes, astronomy. Yeah.
Yeah. And so these are all things that you do in the educational field as well.
So yeah, so I am the director of the Emil Buehler Planetarium. So I am somebody who actually runs a planetarium, which for those that aren't familiar with a planetarium basically is a facility that simulates the universe. So we take people on virtual reality experiences, on identifying things in the night sky, to traveling to different areas of the universe, to looking at the geology of Earth. And one of the things that my background is in planetary science, as well as a little bit of geology as well. So I utilize a lot of the Earth science data in the planetarium to teach kids and college students and the general public about our planet, the universe, solar system, everything in between. And that's kind of what I do. And one of the things that I'm currently working on is we're kind of expanding the planetarium and including a fossil and mineral museum. And one of the reasons why I'm here in the great north of Montana is collecting many different mineral specimens and fossil specimens for this new museum. So I have kind of a dual purpose now. I'm not only collecting for myself, but I'm also being able to collect minerals and fossils for this new museum, so kids and the general public and college students will be able to come in and see all of these wonderful things that Theo and I collected this week. So
cool.
First of all, can somebody just say dream job? Like being at the helm of a planetarium and then being able to travel to collect specimens, for your profession. Yes.
I mean, let's say yes. I mean, so when I came to this trip, I told Theo, I'm like, Theo, you do realize this is not just, a little bit of rock collecting. This is serious business. And I think I've almost destroyed him. I've almost destroyed him on this trip because he's like, dude, I only go out maybe once every 3 years to go rock clown. But we have been 10,000 feet up on mountains, scaling mountains. We have been, I put him to the ringer.
Yeah. Yes,
but I can tell you, when you hang out with the rock master, you have to do that. You have to do that.
We have the specimens to back it as well.
Oh, yeah.
We've been working hard this week.
I think one of the coolest things, so of course, Theo kind of guided me on several different things, but actually most of the stuff that we collected this week has been stuff that even this man has never done before.
Yeah.
And to me, as somebody who's a scientist, educator, being able to discover new things is more important to me than just him guiding me to his spots.
Yep.
And so a lot of the stuff that you're going to see later on is stuff that we actually uncovered for the first time.
Yep.
Probably ever.
So cool.
And none of the stuff that we found, there's a lot of stuff that we found that hasn't been documented to science. Because I've done the looks and talked to a few people and they're like, yeah, we never seen this stuff before. So
that is so exciting, you guys, and we get to see some of it to begin with. So
yes,
pumped.
It's awesome. It's so cool.
Well, awesome. So continue on about the week then. You guys, if you want to integrate the show and tell in, we'd love to see and hear.
Sure. I'll take day one.
Go for it, Theo.
We'll just alternate. I'll slide over so that I'm not sounding like a fish.
That's brilliant. Yes.
Okay. So, day one, we went to Judith Peak to find Montana diamonds, which are a rare variety of squat smoky quartz only found in Montana. But along the way, we stopped and did some digging where we found absolute calcite craziness.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Wow.
We found a septarian that had a vug big enough that you could stick your arm in it.
No.
That's crazy.
We found amazing stuff over there. But other cool thing about that area was we were also finding oyster fossils encased in selenite.
I don't think they were encased.
That's cool.
Mineralized in
Yeah.
Well, what did
Yeah.
he say?
So here,
So the coolest part about these oysters that we're talking about is that they're not encased. They're actually mineralized in the selenite. They are a pseudomorph of selenite.
Oh yeah! Wow, they got permineralized. That is crazy.
it's super, super cool. So
Oh wow.
also, I think I've showed them before. Over in the Judith Peak area, there is also really, really nice, like the little smoky phantom quartz crystals that I brought on. We found the source. We found the source. And this is a small
Whoa.
Oh wow.
piece. We found the source,
remarkable.
everyone.
Well, you gotta tell the whole story. The
Yeah.
whole story was
Yeah,
that we're climbing on this hillside, and I almost killed myself by running down this thing. But when in the process, I didn't really kill myself, but I near kill myself. But I fell down and I landed in this area, and we were looking through the little tailings and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, we need to find the source, and we found the vein of this stuff. And some of the stuff we found on this epic adventure is, I mean, we're talking rocks this size with just thousands and thousands of small, micro, double terminated, single terminated, phantom smoky quartz crystals.
I mean,
That's insane.
They're like a mesh glob of smoky quartz crystals. It's the coolest freaking thing. I don't have any examples with us, but the next day, right, was Bear Canyon?
Next day was yes, Bear Canyon.
Okay, yeah, next day was Bear Canyon, but on the way to Bear Canyon, I sent a picture of this. We got red velvet calcite.
Ooh.
Which
Wow. Oh wow. I think it just caught the light. Yeah. What?
Yeah, I'll take a video and send it because it's the coolest stuff. It's really awesome.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So one of my things I told Theo when I came here to Montana was, oh, there we go. I was like, it got dark all of a sudden. Is that I wanted to go to hunt for Bear Canyon agates and geodes. And for those, I think there was an episode that you all did about Florida rock hounding, and Theo found those epic calcite things. I took them to my honey hole. This is a spot that I spent a long time exploring, and I took this man for that reason. He's like, dude, I am going to take you to the ultimate place in Montana, and that was, of course, to his honey hole in the Bear Canyon. And we started digging in this big hole, and we're getting dirt thrown all in our ears. We were just, now you can't tell from this video, but I'm a hobbit-sized man. I'm about 5'3", so I'm able to tunnel into the deep. Unlike this guy here, he's a giant. So we were able to get in. We were able to get these big things. And one of the coolest parts about it, honestly, is that for those that are familiar with Bear Canyon agates, they're kind of famous for the fortification agate, that nice black and white kind of overlaying. Then he's like, we're gonna crack some of these open, and just opening these geodes with huge giant dogtooth calcite crystals, druzy quartz. I was like, forget the fortification agates, okay? I was like, forget about that. Now we're on a hunt for these geodes. And when I clean some of these off, some of these have hair, like very fine velvety calcite overgrowths on the main dogtooth calcite. And I'm like, forget the fortifications. This is I'm blown away by these geodes. And for those that are listening,
Derek's not fickle.
no, I'm like, this is crazy. And but I am excited about the fortifications. But the geodes, I stress not, the geodes, I think are seriously underrated. I really do.
I 2000% agree. I think the geodes do not get nearly enough attention. The fortification agates are awesome, but the druzy and the calcite is oh my gosh, it's unreal. It's seriously unreal. We got one piece that's like a perfect little like crescent. That's like a dome, like a little crescent of a perfect spherical geode. It's amethyst.
No.
And they're at the very bottom of the like crescent moon. There's a perfect dogtooth calcite crystal coming up, and it's like the coolest freaking thing.
Oh wow.
Sounds amazing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next day we went up into the mountains so that Derek could do some work, and I would love to hear him talk about this.
Yeah, so the other reason why I'm here too is to I'm actually documenting some various different locations for a astronomy program about indigenous people around the United States. Well, this one in particular, I want also as an astronomer, I wanted to see some Montana dark skies. And we actually ventured up into the Beartooth Mountains, and we're up there super late at night, and the wind was howling. I mean, it was probably 60-mile-an-hour winds. Wind chill of 30 degrees. It was just insane. And but the sky was absolutely beautiful. So we were taking some great pictures. Actually, Theo, I got a chance to kind of introduce him to the art of astrophotography. So that's one of the things that I'm kind of known for too, is I do a lot of astrophotography. So I was able to finally introduce him to that, hook up his camera to I have a special tracker device that actually moves with the relationship to the stars. And I was able to hook up his camera to that. And the first picture he got, he was just like, "Whoa, my God!" And, he was just really super enthralled by it all.
He's actually downplaying it. Like, I freaked out. I was so excited. They're on my camera, so I can't send any. But I promise next week I will bring my pictures to show and tell.
Oh, good. Something to look forward to for sure. Wow.
So yeah, so we were up there, got some great photos. And we did the Bear Canyon, we did the other stuff. We were kind of like, let's take a day off. So we mostly just kind of drove the Beartooth Highway, which was amazing. We had perfect weather for that. And the thing is that the next day we were going to conquer what was called the Highlight Peak for Highlight Opal. And we're like, oh, let's go through the Beartooth Pass. Let's go through Yellowstone. Well, when we got to near Yellowstone, there was a big sign that said, "This road is closed." And unlike, and you all are from the Western world of the United States, there are only like 3 roads in some of these mountain passes, and there are 2 paths. And well, the shortcut path was closed, which meant we had to go the long way around. So we stopped at this really cool little barbecue place, got some food, and then we just tracked on. We did some astronomy, and then we came down the mountain. We were first afraid, which, Theo, you were like, dude, I don't know if the road closes at night.
So yeah, to put this in perspective, so I don't know. Everyone just open up your Google map right now, viewers.
If you can.
We were in the town of Silvergate, which is at the northeast corner of Yellowstone Park. So that goes through the Lamar Valley, which then goes into Gardner, which leads to Livingston, which is where we were going to be staying. That road closed, which means we had to go all the way back, like 4 hours, all the way around back to the interstate on the completely other side of the state. Well, the thing about the Beartooth Pass is when they're doing construction, which is freaking always because that mountain is trying to spit humans off of it, they do nightly road closures. So from 8 to 8, the road is closed. And I was really afraid because it was like 8:30. And I was like, we might be trapped up here. If that was the case, we would have had to drive all the way to Cody and then back to Laurel. And then Laurel. And then Laurel. And then so that would have been like a 6-hour drive at 8 p.m. We were very, very afraid.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the road was not closed, and we were able to get down the mountain, and it was amazing. And then, of course, we stayed the night over in Livingston to begin the epic adventure of Highlight Peak.
Oh my God!
Now, Highlight Peak, for those that are not familiar with, is what was it? Your rock hounding book said that it's for the.
And I quote: "My rock hounding guide says that it is for only the most motivated of rock hounds," and they're not wrong.
Yeah. So this is just for those that are listening. The trail that we did was about a 6 or 7 mile one way. So it's 14 miles total, about 4,000 feet elevation gain.
Ooh.
Now of course, Kurt's in Colorado, so that's just an everyday walk for him. But I have a friend of mine who lives in Colorado, and he does like the Fort Nears like every day. It's just like no big deal. But for me, a Florida man literally
Yes.
Florida man. This was a epic adventure.
It was.
And I was only in for 3 days, so I've been slowly acclimatizing, but not enough. But we did it. We did it, and was just a magical hike. It looked like you're in Middle Earth in some fantasy story.
I sent a picture of the view from the top, so we can actually pop that up right here.
Oh, perfect.
Point, we're doing this epic hike. We're doing this epic hike, and we're kind of stopping every 5 seconds to look at each individual rock because we're not really 100% sure how good this highlight opal is. Well, eventually, about halfway on the trail, we look down and we start seeing remnants of this. Now, for those that aren't familiar, highlight opal it gets its name because of the glass nature of the opal. Has a very botryoidal kind of glassy look. But what's really cool about this opal is it has trace elements of uranium in it.
Whoa.
Don't let the word uranium fool. Don't get scared. The uranium is actually in very small amount, and the alpha particles that make up the uranium actually are blocked. The radioactivity of the uranium is actually blocked by the crystal structure of the silica that makes the opal. So there's no actual radiation emanating from the opal. So, and I know that some people who do cabochons or facet discs get concerned. Oh, is it radioactive? No. But what's really cool about this opal is that because there's uranium in it, it fluoresces under a shortwave ultraviolet light. So if you have a shortwave ultraviolet light and you hit this thing, it just glows like crazy.
Bright freaking green.
Yeah, bright green. It's amazing. So, but what's really crazy is about almost 5 miles into the hike, we find a piece and we shine it in the light, and it actually has a play of color. And I was
exciting.
From what I understand is that this highlight opal is not supposed to have play of color, but it does.
Oh.
It does. And now Theo has a piece here, a little tiny piece of this highlight opal. This is one he was really excited about getting facetable material so he can make jewelry out of it.
Oh man,
Highlight
can't
opal
wait.
is weird. It's one you don't want to actually make cabs out of. This is faceting rough for sure.
And, that's so cool. Can't wait
I have
to
a
see.
few.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I have a few pieces that are going to be really nice and facettable, but this one right here is definitely remaining a specimen. It's so cool. I'm sure a lot of people, even a lot of rockhounds, if we told you we hiked 11 miles for this, I'm sure they'd look at us like we're insane, but
Well, we're motivated rock.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But no, we actually found some really big specimens of this stuff. I have a piece that's very large. A lot of that. Theo found one that was spectacularly large. It was a great success. Now, what the problem was is we started a little bit later because we were doing the astronomy the night before. We didn't get all the way to the top because we looked at the time and we're like, we got to get down. And we got down and it was still dark outside. And we were getting a little nervous because we were like, are we actually going to make it back to our car in one piece? But we did, obviously, and we're here. Are we here? I don't know. Are we?
What might be interesting is if you did get stuck on the mountain doing like a nighttime hike with the like a Uper light type thing, because the highlight would be glowing, right?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And then that's why I suggest that we camp at the top and then go up and then do that, at night. So
that would parse
we do
the
astronomy
hike
too.
Yeah.
We could do astronomy as well. So, but then so that was our epic adventure. And then this poor soul here, this poor very old soul.
I'm afraid.
I'm very afraid. He's like, Derek, I need a day off. I need a day off because I worn that man out.
Yeah, it's true.
And he slept for about 17,000 years. Has time traveled through a wormhole to get back because he slept for 17,000 years. But he's here today. He's fully refreshed. He's a new man than when I left him on that day.
I did a lot of growing in those 17,000 years.
Yes. But the next day, I decided to go to the Bighorn Mountains to get some footage for one of my programs I'm doing at the planetarium about the Bighorn Medicine Wheel, which is a site that's very sacred to a lot of indigenous people throughout the United States. But in particular, there's a lot of archaeoastronomy attached to it, where it was possibly used as a calendar back in ancient times to kind of see the rising and setting of certain areas of the sky, to kind of map out what time of year they'd have to travel down to the ground, to the lower valley, and things like that. So there's a lot of connection to the universe, and we see that with all their cultures all around the world. We see this connection with our knowledge of the night sky. So I really wanted to do that. It was a very amazing experience. But during that day too, Theo said, "Hey, you need to go check out these oyster beds. They're Jurassic oyster beds." And we don't have a specimen of that, unfortunately, today. But I'm sure we can have a picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So these oysters, and you know, they're called devil's toenails. They literally look, if you like glued them onto your fingers, you'd be like, the devil. You know, it's just, you know. But they're these they're these oysters from the Jurassic period, when Montana was basically underwater.
Yep, it was.
One of the things I was interested in was getting a conglomerate of oysters. So at first I was finding small stuff, and then I called Theo and I said, "Hey, I'm only finding this," and he's like, "Oh, I think I sent you the right pin." But eventually I kind of walked several miles in the open desert there, and eventually I climbed this hill, and then I found it. So I have these huge clusters of oysters, and really excited about that.
Yep.
Also found lots of selenite crystals, huge selenite crystals.
Oh wow!
Clusters. Yeah. Well,
We forgot that on day one we found 2 plates of selenite that are like this.
Wow!
They actually grew underneath the Septenarian nodule. And we pulled it out, and it's like literally a plate of selenite crystals, which again was part of that same area where we found the calcite.
It's like a selenite platter. It's
insane.
Crazy.
So we did that, and so I found the oysters, found the selenite crystals, found a piece of a giant ammonite with some scapulitic calcite. And then today, while this man was finally recharged again, he was a new man. When I left him on the end of the highlight peak, it was not Theo. It was Rio instead of Theo.
Yeah. It was my shady Spanish counterpart, Theo.
Theo, yeah. And now he's Theo again. And tell us about today.
Well, today, you can't bring a rockhound to Montana without an adventure on the Yellowstone River. So we went out to one of my best places that I love to go to, and we freaking did so good. It was amazing.
Oh, nice. Got to show a guy a good time.
It was like, oh, we'll spend 2 hours on the river, no big deal. 6 hours later.
I swear I'm walking back to the car right now.
Yeah. Well, we just kept finding more and more stuff. So I'm super happy that Derek gets to go home with several amazing big Montana agates that he found. He found a just absolutely outstanding treasure state agate. And I found a few nice big agates as well. But I think the more exciting part of the day was the fact that we were finding baculites and ammonites pretty much all day long.
No.
It was awesome.
That's crazy.
So I brought one with, and I hope the rainbow shows.
It flared the camera as soon as you popped it onto the screen. It's like,
saw that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Usually the camera does a terrible job, but at least that one was just yeah.
It's so pretty, just fantastic. But all of the ammonites just have this metallic ammonite layer. They're so beautiful. I know Karen has something to do tomorrow, and I don't want to keep her up all night editing, so I didn't bring a whole lot of stuff to show. So
and it's my birthday tomorrow too.
Yeah, happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Happy solar orbit day.
Solar orbit day.
So that's technically right now if you guys are watching it.
Now. Yeah. Everyone in the chat, tell Karen happy birthday right now.
Sorry, keep going.
Right now.
Okay. So we just found a bunch of ammonites and baculites. I'm going to be doing a whole lot of prepping, but we have one more adventure, and that is the late Cretaceous Bear Pash Shale big ammonites and baculites and amylites, which is tomorrow, bright and early. And then
Oh, as if you guys didn't just get enough.
I know. I looked. He asked me. He's like, "There's no way this spot that we're going tomorrow can be better than what we just did." And I was like, "Derek, this spot's gonna blow this place out of the water. I promise that."
I'm here to tell you.
That was my face.
Right. Oh, that's
Just
awesome.
shook. But no, I am very excited. It'll be a good day. And then after that, we have a whole lot of packing of rocks to do. Like a whole lot of rock cleaning and packing.
So are you taking them back on the air, like on the plane, or are you going to send them?
No. So we have too many rocks. I mean, we're talking probably several hundred pounds of epic stuff. And we'll be doing it the USPS way through all those really beautiful flat rate boxes. And of course, for those that are listening on this channel, I learned this years ago that just get the flat rate boxes and then ship it. And there's been times where I shipped the box out and it showed up before I even arrived back home. Yeah, that's just how. When I went to Colorado last year doing Mount Antero, I did the Smoky Hot Claim for Amazonite and Smoky Quartz. I was at Del Norte. I found a bunch of Thunder Eggs, Saw Belly Agate, or Last Chance Mine. I did Epidote crystals with druzy garnets, all kinds of things. I went into the fluorescent fossil beds, found a bunch of great fossils, petrified wood, all kinds of stuff. And I brought back like 6 of these flat rate boxes, and they showed up before I even came back from Colorado.
Instant gratification. Boom.
Yeah. So
it's the way to do
yeah.
it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yep.
That's actually really good advice, because I know that there's a lot of rock hounds that are traveling around, and you do have that quandary, like if you didn't drive there, how the heck am I getting this stuff back, and is it going to limit my hunting? Because that's a bad no. I don't know the understanding of that. So right on. So you guys are looking forward to this thing, and then does that mean that you're hitting the air back home, Derek, after that?
Yeah, so I'm leaving Saturday, which of course in this podcast would be 2 days from when we did it. So I'm only have one more full day on this trip, and then I'm leaving Theo forever. No, not forever. But of course he comes to Florida, and do more epic rock hounding, because I have several amazing locations that I would like to share with Theo again. And I told him, like, I have several spots throughout the southeastern United States: Georgia, North Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi. I have lots of places I have spent most of my adventure. And it's kind of funny because where I am in Florida, the same amount of time it takes me to drive from where I am in the Orlando area to North Carolina, the same thing as driving from one side of Montana to the other. So you cover a lot of ground, and lots of different stuff. Corundum crystals, emeralds. I know that would be a big thing for you. Big rhodolite garnets, just beautiful pink garnets that are facettable. I know Theo would be really excited. So I told him, one of these days you're just going to come down for a week before coming down, because usually he visits his family, and we just have this epic rock hounding adventure. So hopefully we'll do that at some point to return the favor.
It would literally be Theo and Derek Rock Adventure 2.0 Florida edition.
Nice. Well, we're all looking forward to that hopefully happening. He's making you a deal you can't refuse, Theo.
Absolutely. So even with all of the explaining of our week that we just did, that was the paraphrased version.
Oh, we know.
That was the very, very yes.
You guys,
that was the very shortened version. So
yeah, we'll have to hear more. Like, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a video for every single one of these days, so I'm super, super excited to start getting these edited and posted.
Nice.
Can't wait to see them.
Yeah, we'll all be looking forward to that. Keep your eyes open.
Yeah, that was the other part of the deal. Is that part of this was collecting for the museum and self-collecting too. But I told Theo, I'm like, think about this from a business standpoint. You are making all these videos for your YouTube channel, and it's like, let's get on some other cool things throughout the Montana area that your viewers would like to see. So we definitely, I think,
yes,
we accomplished that.
One of the best parts about this is I'm gonna have like 11 videos over because I already have some videos on backlog. So once I get all these all edited, it's gonna be so nice. I don't have to like record a video for like 3 months at this point. It's like,
the next time we see Theo, he's like totally different, like has different facial hair and it's got more wrinkles.
He's gonna complete his beard like me. He's gonna complete that in Kurt. He's gonna have a full beard. What is this little nonsense?
This is what I'm allowed. Alexis, I'm lucky honestly that I have this. Alexis doesn't like the facial hair. So this is what I get. This was the compromise. I'm not allowed a big beard.
Wow, that
I don't have Kurt's superpower. I can't grow hair fast.
like that. I know. Well, that was an amazing overview, and thank you so much for sharing that. I can only imagine, Derek, you're a great storyteller, so perhaps we'll have you back on maybe during the Florida trip so you can tell us more stories.
That'd be awesome.
Now you the pressure.
That would be awesome.
I know.
Pressure's on.
Pressure's mounting.
Yeah. All right, and so that was like your shows and tells. Kurt, do you have a show and tell?
I do have a show and tell. It's not near as epic,
I feel
but
do we have to go after you guys?
You do. We never mentioned what we call it.
I forgot about that.
It's not too late.
Okay. Well, when we found
The calcite, calcite clusters.
Ooh.
There you go.
we were like joking around all day, like making crazy Russian hacker references. So back and forth to each other. So like at one point we were just like kind of sitting there, just because it was had become a running gag throughout the day at that point. So we kept talking about how we were going to buy rocks on eBay in our crazy Russian hacker voice, and then whenever we started finding nice rocks, we just go, oh, eBay. I just turn around and Eric's like picking up this monster rock, and he's like, eBay.
So the newly discovered calcite clusters, we now dub that pocket the eBay pocket.
Yes.
And people will have no idea what we're talking about unless you're in the know. So for those that are watching this podcast, you are now the select elite few that know the story behind the eBay pocket.
eBay pocket of 22.
Feeling very inner circle right now. Thank you. So privileged. Thank you guys. Great. Another story. See, we're gonna have to have a full-on story time. All right, Kurt, how about your and thank you.
Oh, right. I forgot. No. All right, so these are these 3 cabochons. They're not fully finished. They're Missouri lace from Dustin with Dustin Finds Rocks. So I don't know if the camera's picking this up.
It's doing a pretty darn good job.
But
seems
you can see the beautiful color lace with the quartz on iron stained quartz on top.
Mm-hmm.
And
so stunning.
Then there is this one. Let's see if the camera is picking that up at all.
Yeah. If you want to find those, go to his thing.
Yeah. And
they're so good.
The event. This one actually has a really cool inclusion. If Dwight has it right, it almost looks I don't even know how to explain it. It's the inclusion right here is just really cool. And you'll see these in my video coming up on Monday for the full detail. But here's another one. And so then pretty. All of these, when they're finished, they will get wrapped in copper wire. And hopefully in the future I'll advance up to the silver wire. So but yeah, those are my show and tells. And yeah.
Beautiful. So gorgeous. Thank you, Kurt.
Yes.
And don't you you have some of the other ones on is it Etsy or?
Yeah, I have on my Etsy store, which is, I always forget the name, which is horrible. Because it's not Rock.Hounding.Adventures. It's pieces of earth jewelry. I'm on Etsy. You can see the different wrapping styles that I've done, which is starting out where I'm just very, very basic to more like advanced wrapping. Yeah.
Yeah, so go check that out. Beautiful Eiffels over there for sure. Thank you, Kurt. And I actually, the video that I'm dropping is a summer hunt. It was from a little while ago, and it's just been taking me forever with puppies and everything like that to get things edited, obviously. And so I'm taking you guys for a summer hunt, which is super, kind of rare for the Oregon coast. It's like a winter meal for sure, not so much a summer one. And so I think I showed off, I did a couple of weeks ago during one of our specials. I showed off a shell that I was working on, and so it's been completely prepped now. And this guy is actually, I obviously can't show you a before and after unless I threw up those pictures, but I can show you at the same time. This is what it would look like covered with the bryozoans. And some of the matrix material. And so these guys are the same shell. Not obviously like in another dimension, but they're the same guy. And so it's kind of neat to see the before and after together as far as like the structure and everything. And I always forget the name of this one. It's like Trophin or something like that. You'll have to watch the video because I'll have it right during that.
Hey, I was told that you are slowly rubbing off of them, Theo, with the shells and things like that.
Everyone needs to stop not liking shells.
You got to stop not liking shells, people. Yeah. And so the ones that we have out here are the middle Miocene era fossils. And in this case, we sometimes get permineralized shells as well. That's why I was so excited when you were talking about that earlier, Derek. And it'll be with silicates through the nacre. And so they almost come off chatoyant like a tiger's eye or something like that. We also have zeolite that is a possibility as well. And so, of course, being that's somewhat filament oriented, you get some really neat optics off of that. So we love our silicates out here into our fossils.
All right, another field trip. There we go, field trip.
Are we talking coming to the Oregon coast? That would be so great. Come out. It'll be fun. And like really dramatic. I mean, it sounds like you like the dramatic trips, Derek. And so during the wintertime on the Oregon coast, and you were talking about a lot of wind and that sort of thing up on the top of the mountain. Yeah, you know, we can show you a good time as far as that's concerned, like buckets of rain thrown at you like you're in a car wash, you know. I oftentimes feel like I'm driving my house through a car wash. It's so weird. So yeah, and you know, like 70-mile-an-hour winds sound good. So.
I mean, you know, that's nothing for us Floridians.
Right? Oh, that's right. We're not gonna duel. Like, taking off the glove.
Right. No. But no, I'm saying that I'm happy. I sometimes rock hound in hurricanes. You know what? So I mean, let's do it.
All right. I love the enthusiasm. Okay, so everybody's invited to the Oregon coast to go rock hounding during a storm. Let's go. But mostly Derek and all right, and Kurt and everybody listening.
Only the motivated rock hounds.
The motivated rock hounds. That's what it's gonna say.
That should be a T-shirt. We should get a T-shirt that says motivated rock hounds.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's it. Yeah, stop not liking shells is a T-shirt, and motivated rock hounds.
Yes,
I love it. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty much my show and tell. And so we should probably get into some words of wisdom. You got some, Derek?
Oh boy. Words of wisdom. You know, never stop exploring. Really, that's how I say. One of the reasons why I do what I do is, you know, we were talking about this on the car ride home. I just get excited just looking at the rain and just going and exploring things that no one else does. You go the extra mile. And if you want to find, just like we did this week, we went the extra mile. We did that epic hike We dug in areas that never been dug before. That's really what my words of wisdom are. Just never stop exploring. You see a book and you read, oh, that might have been well picked over. Chances are it's never been well picked over. Maybe just that one spot you get out the door and you walk up the hill. No, you should go to the next hill or the hill after that. And there's just bound to be so much more. So never, keep exploring and become the motivated rock hound. You never know what you might find.
I love that.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much. Those are great words. Yes. How about you, Theo?
One sec. Zach is fixing this for me because I broke it. Anyway. Mine would be the suffering is worth it. It may sound like it's going to be very painful, and it probably will be, but I promise you it's going to be worth it. You can apply that to a lot of different things. I'm probably going to apply this to most of this week, just because I've been running on fumes, and then that's been compounding day after day. I'm well rested now, but doing a hike, 11-mile hike on fumes was very painful, but it was so worth it. For the only opals you can find in Montana. And I'm like you, Karen. I know you vibe with this. We're opalholics. So being able to go actually hunt for opals was an amazing experience. And that's just one of the many hunts we did this whole week. It was just awesome. So my words of wisdom would be the suffering is worth it. I promise.
That's great. It's so true. It's also nice to have a friend that twists your arm into the suffering. That's good.
That's right.
All right. How about you, Kurt?
Well, I always try to be more prepared, but I'm not prepared this week. So similar to last week, if you are thinking about getting out to nature, do it. Because winter is coming and snow is coming. So do it before all that hits and everything gets buried.
Awesome words of wisdom. And when you said something about being up on the hill, Kurt, or the mountain and the peak, and we'll be back next spring. Oh, that like tore at my heart. Like, oh yeah, there's winter coming, and
me too.
I felt that physically. Yeah. So do it.
Do it.
Get it while you can. All right, thank you. And so mine is like so random, but that really fits with my
It can't be more random than from.
You're right. You're making me feel better already. Okay.
Yeah.
No, actually, I received this a weird email. No, it was a text. And it said that my package, blah, blah, and that they had the wrong address and they needed my stuff. Okay, so everybody knows right away when I'm saying that it's a scam, Karen. Don't do it.
Oh,
and
no.
No, I didn't. No. Yeah, but what was crazy is, I opened it up in the morning to see that message, and it even had like the USPS logos and everything. It was a really, really well done
creative.
one. Oh man. And it had like the tracking number listed and everything. And I was just like, I don't think I have anything coming though. And so like I checked my tracking numbers because I did have 2 things coming, and then I checked stuff that was coming for Steve, and it matched nothing. And I was just like, this is a scam. And so you guys, and I know a lot of people are expecting a lot of packages all the time, especially us, like if it fits, it ships. Like we got rocks coming all the time, right? Hopefully, or tools and toys. So my words of wisdom is watch for scammers, because oh my gosh, I was so close.
So many out there.
Actually, I have something that actually relates to that very well. My last week's video, I announced a giveaway, and there was a robot posing as me with a picture of my face, telling people to text this number because they were shortlisted as the winner. So I made
Yes.
a separate post saying, don't listen, that I would literally never do a giveaway this way. So yes, be careful of scammers. I agree wholeheartedly.
Same thing happened to me, Theo, like on my
Mhm.
last giveaway, and someone fell for it and messaged me saying they fell for it,
Aw.
and they gave them their information. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's a scam. Don't fall for
Yeah.
it.
Right, right. I mean,
Ah.
because like this
We
is
will
so
never
good that
ask for your information if you're gonna win something. So like, we won't ask for your phone number. We won't ask for like any of your personal information. Don't fall for it.
yeah. I'm so glad that you guys brought that up in conjunction, because that's like so immediate to our community and everything, because people are winning, contests and think that they're talking to us. You know, you'll know if we're talking to you or anything. Like, believe me. And there's ways to get in touch with us that about as viewers, that if you have any question, definitely hit our email or something like that. Verify if there's any question.
Yep.
If I just reached out to you spontaneously and we've never spoken, you might want to email me back at the the email below in the description. So anyways, awesome words, you guys. Thank you. And before we wrap things up, Derek, thank you so much for coming. I
Yes,
loved your
thank you.
stories. I know everybody else did, and
I wanna hear more
got
later.
so much. Yeah, you got so much going on. So how can people track you down on the interwebs?
Well, for my professional job, basically the Emil Bueller Planetarium at Seminole State College is where I work, and I'm sure the link we can add a link just to our website on that. So if you're in
Sure
the
can.
Florida area, we're actually doing some renovations and upgrades right now, but we're going to hopefully reopen in January, and eventually I'll have this new fossil and mineral museum, or actually probably the only fossil and mineral museum in Central Florida. So once this is open, you'll be able to come and check it out. The other thing is I'm pretty active on Instagram. Derek the Discoverer is my Instagram handle, and I post reels and photos of my astro photographs and rocks, lots of times rocks and fossils. A lot of what I do in the Sunshine State and beyond. So you can also find that as well. So Derek, Derek, the Discoverer is my Instagram, and that's the best way to reach me on the internet.
Go follow him. It's gonna be amazing.
Now.
Let's do it.
People always ask me too, Derek, you have the personality for a YouTube channel. I'm like, that's a whole other full-time job. I have other things that I like to just be guest stars on all my friends' YouTube channels. So, I'll just stick with that for right now.
Awesome. Well, we're so glad that you do, because seriously, enjoy everything that I see when you get to go along on the different hunts. And like I said before, it's great storyteller. So can't wait to see more. And we'll be following you over there on the Instagrams. And thank you, everybody, for coming along with this journey with us this evening. And if you would like to do some more of that during the rest of the week, join us on Discord. We'll send you the invite. If you can, on the secret email, send me that secret email for the invite while you're at it.
Phone number for the email.
That is in the description. And then join us over there on the Discord. We've got like show and tell going on all the time. We've got a variety of different channels, so you can talk about absolutely nothing even oriented to rock hunting if you want to. There's a total randomness one. And shows and tells. Also, while you're sending me that email, go ahead and send us some pictures too, and you will be part of the next viewer show and tell. And that'll be coming up as soon as the inbox is full. So thank you again so much for joining us this evening. Happy rock hounding, hopefully this weekend, and we will catch you on the next podcast. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.
Happy anniversary, Kyle, everybody.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
We miss you. We'll see you next time.